chosen one. Listen closely. You didn't stumble here by accident. Heaven has pressed pause on everything around you to whisper this moment into your spirit. This is your final alert. You are not here by chance. You are here by divine appointment. Every scroll you've swiped, every delay you've made, every sign that made your heart stir, they were all leading you here. There is a tremor in the heavens right now, a spiritual shift that calls your name. The angels are moving. The clock of eternity ticks louder, and heaven leans close. You, yes, you, are the one heaven has marked for this hour. You have felt it for years, the sense that you don't belong, that there's something more, that ordinary life cannot contain what burns within you. That is not pride. That is prophecy, breathing in your bones. You have walked through darkness others could not bear. You've been misunderstood, abandoned, and left questioning if God still sees you. But even in the silence, the divine eyes never left you. Every tear you cried was counted. Every prayer you whispered in secret was heard in the courts of heaven. You are not forgotten, you are chosen. Listen carefully now. This is not a message for everyone. This is for the ones who feel the weight of destiny pressing on their chest. The ones who wake up in the middle of the night, sensing something holy, stirring. The ones who have been through enough pain to recognize purpose when it whispers. Heaven is saying, wake up, mighty one. The time for sleeping is over. As was spoken in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 14. Awake, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. You are stepping into an hour when heaven is calling for its chosen ones to arise. No more delay. No more excuses. No more waiting for a perfect moment, because the perfect moment is now. This is not just another motivational message. This is divine interruption. Heaven is saying, stop running, stop doubting, stop delaying your obedience. You've been sensing this tug in your spirit for a while now. Every time you felt God pulling you to pray, to surrender, to change direction, that was the whisper of destiny. But now the whisper has turned into a trumpet. The King is summoning his soldiers, and you, beloved, are one of them. Don't think you are unworthy. Don't think you are too broken, too late, or too far gone. The ones God chooses are rarely the ones the world expects. He calls the outcasts, the overlooked, the broken-hearted, the ones who almost gave up, because they are the ones who know what mercy feels like. And when mercy finds them, they never let go. There is a reason you are hearing this message now. The Spirit of God has been circling your life, arranging this encounter. You might have thought it was just another video, another scroll, another voice, but heaven doesn't waste moments. This is divine strategy. The same voice that called Moses from a burning bush is calling you from a burning timeline. Beloved, this is not coincidence. This is command. Heaven is issuing your final alert, the invitation to awaken to who you truly are. You were never meant to blend in. You were never designed to disappear. You are light, and light cannot hide in the darkness. This is your call to rise, to stop running from what you were born for, to surrender your timeline, your fears, your pain, and step into divine alignment. The angels have already moved into position. The wind of heaven is shifting behind you. Every delay is breaking. Every chain that tried to keep you small is snapping under the authority of your calling. So, stand tall. Chosen one. Breathe deep. The breath in your lungs is proof that your assignment is not finished. You are still here because your purpose is still active. Heaven has declared your name in its roll call of warriors. The trumpet has sounded. The light has turned green. The kingdom is waiting on your yes. This is your awakening moment. Don't ignore it. Don't scroll past it. Don't postpone it for another day you may never see. Right here. Right now, you are being called. If this message is burning in your spirit, let heaven see your response. Tap the heart. Share this with another warrior, and declare your alignment in the comments. Subscribe if you know this word was for you, because this movement of the chosen is just beginning, and heaven is gathering its voices. Type the number 777 inches. The comments right now, a prophetic sign that you are stepping into divine completion and perfect obedience. You have always felt different, haven't you? Even when you tried to fit in, something deep inside resisted the patterns of the world. You were marked long before you understood what being chosen meant. There were moments when you wondered why your path was harder, why your heart broke deeper, why your dreams burned brighter than others. It was because heaven had written your name into a divine script that could not be erased. From the moment you took your first breath, the mark of divine purpose was placed upon your soul. The world didn't see it, but the heavens did. The enemy saw it too, which is why warfare began the moment you were born. He saw your potential before you did. He feared your voice before you found it. Every distraction, every attack, every betrayal, it was never random. It was resistance to your anointing. You have carried something sacred that others could not recognize. When you walked into rooms, spiritual atmospheres shifted. When you spoke, darkness trembled. Even if people around you didn't understand why, you've always been a disruptor in the spirit, not by choice, but by design. You weren't called to blend in. You were created to stand apart. There were seasons when you questioned God's plan because it seemed unfair. You asked why others could move easily while your path was full of walls and waiting. But the truth is, those delays were not denials, they were divine protection. God was hiding you until the appointed time. Every hidden season has been heaven's cocoon, preparing you for visibility without vulnerability. You see, being chosen is not glamorous. It's costly. It requires surrender when others settle. It means walking alone when others walk in crowds. But even in isolation, you are never alone. Heaven shadows your steps, guiding you through what your eyes cannot yet see. The pain you've endured is proof of your purpose. It takes pressure to produce oil, and you, chosen one, carry the fragrance of anointing that only pressure can create. You may not realize it, but every battle you've faced has been training. Every heartbreak has taught you compassion. Every rejection has taught you discernment. And every silence has tuned your ears to heaven's frequency. You are no longer the person you once were. You are refined, wise, and spiritually alert. The world has been noisy, trying to drown out your calling. Voices of doubt, fear, and distraction have tried to make you forget who you are. But deep within, the mark remains, the unmistakable seal of heaven. That's why you can't find peace in compromise. That's why you feel restless when you're not walking in alignment. It's because your spirit recognizes that it was never built for the ordinary, as declared in the first letter of Peter, chapter 2, verse 9. You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation. Those words are not poetry. They are identity. They describe who you are at your core: royal, sacred, set apart. You are not just surviving life, you are shaping eternity. The crown is already in your DNA. The authority you carry was written in heaven long before the world named you. You have walked through enough darkness to know that light is real. You have lost enough battles to understand that victory is not about perfection, but about persistence. You are part of a divine lineage of warriors, those who refused to bow to fear, those who rose when others stayed down, those who believed even when it hurt. And now, it is your turn to rise. There is a holy confidence awakening within you, a quiet knowing that you were never ordinary. It's not arrogance, it's remembrance. The Spirit of God is reminding you who you are. The mark of the chosen is not about being better than others. It's about carrying heaven's mission while walking among men. It's about loving when others hate, forgiving when others curse, and standing firm when others fall. When you step into rooms now, don't shrink. Don't apologize for the light you carry. Your presence is not meant to fit, it's meant to transform. You are the answer to a need, the solution to a prayer, the living proof that God still breathes purpose into His people. The seal of heaven over your life means you cannot fail in the end. You may stumble, but grace will lift you. You may wander, but mercy will redirect you. The same hand that marked you will sustain you until your mission is complete. So walk boldly. Beloved, the world may not recognize your crown yet, but heaven already calls you royalty. Every step you take in obedience echoes in eternity. You are marked, you are chosen, and your story is only beginning to unfold. There were nights when you lay awake, wondering why the ones you loved most could not see your heart. You poured yourself out, yet people misunderstood your intentions. You gave loyalty and received silence. You offered kindness and met rejection. But, chosen one, what you did not know then is that rejection was never punishment, it was redirection. Heaven was protecting you from places your purpose could not breathe. You have carried a heart too pure for environments poisoned by envy. Every time you were pushed away, God was pulling you aside. Every closed door was a divine shield against something that would have weakened your spirit. You cried because you thought you were losing people, but you were really being preserved for your destiny. There are moments when pain becomes the language heaven uses to communicate promotion. You asked, "Why me?" But the better question is, why not me? Because it takes a certain kind of soul, tender yet resilient, to carry the glory you're destined to reveal. The path of the chosen is paved with misunderstanding because the world cannot comprehend divine distinction. Even your loneliness was sacred. The isolation that made you feel forgotten was the incubator of your strength. God separated you so He could speak to you directly. There were conversations between you and heaven that could not have happened in the noise of the crowd. You were never overlooked. You were hidden for refinement. The truth is, every heartbreak carved room in your heart for compassion. Every disappointment expanded your capacity to understand others. You are becoming a vessel that carries healing, not bitterness. That's why the enemy tried so hard to make you give up, because a healed, chosen heart becomes a weapon in the hands of God. You have wondered why your process has been so long, why you had to endure betrayal, loss, and silence. But destiny takes time. Diamonds are not formed in comfort. They are forged in pressure. You were never being punished. You were being polished. Heaven was preparing your endurance for the weight of the crown you will soon wear. There is beauty in what broke you. Look back. Every shattered piece of your story has formed a mosaic of grace. What once looked like destruction has become the foundation of your purpose. The people who left made space for new alliances ordained by heaven. The tears you cried watered the soil of your next season. Do not despise the pain that made you. You carry evidence that suffering is not the end, it is the beginning of transformation. The power within you was not born from ease, but from endurance. And now, you stand stronger, wiser, unshakable. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 118, verse 22, "The stone the builders rejected has become the cornerstone." No, that verse is not about ancient stones. It's about you. You were the one counted out, misunderstood, underestimated. But heaven chose you to be the very foundation of something new. You are not the discarded piece. You are the essential one. The same rejection that wounded you has now become the sign of your divine purpose. The people who walked away did not destroy you. They revealed you. Their absence exposed your strength. Their silence taught you to hear God's voice. Their betrayal trained you to trust heaven above all else. You didn't lose anything essential. You gained clarity about who truly walks with you. Now, you move differently. You no longer chase validation because you have discovered identity. You no longer beg for acceptance because you are grounded in belonging. Your worth is not negotiable. It was settled when heaven called you chosen. End of quote. Let this truth settle deep in your spirit. What once broke you now builds you. What once hurt you now anoints you. Your pain was not wasted. It was converted into purpose. Every scar on your soul is a testimony of God's faithfulness. You are walking proof that rejection can become resurrection. And as this truth takes root in you, declare it openly, not as a wish, but as a witness. Let heaven and earth hear your agreement. Comment, "I rise again." Oh, say it out loud as you type it. Those 3 words are not just a sentence, they are prophecy. "I rise again" means that the season of heartbreak no longer defines you. It means your worth is no longer tied to who left, but to who called you. It means you are stepping out of the ashes of rejection into the authority of restoration. Type it not for me, but for your own spirit, as a public declaration that you refuse to remain in the shadow of old wounds. You are rising from rejection into recognition. You are rising from pain into purpose. And heaven, watching from above, is nodding in agreement. Because every chosen one must rise. And today, it's your turn. There is a silence that lives between the seen and the unseen, the space where angels and shadows contend for your attention. You have felt it, the sudden heaviness in the air, the unseen pressure that comes before a breakthrough, the strange resistance when you try to pray or move forward. This, beloved, is not your imagination. It is the echo of a war that has been raging since before time began, and you stand at the center of it. You are a vessel of light in a world that is growing darker. Every time you choose forgiveness over bitterness, every time you speak truth when lies would be easier, every time you remain faithful when others compromise, the light within you expands, and the darkness trembles. That is why the attacks have felt personal. You are not simply fighting circumstances, you are confronting ancient opposition. The spiritual realm is alive and active. While people see faces, heaven sees forces. While others argue about the visible, you are called to discern the invisible. Every discouraging whisper, every sudden fear, every strange fatigue, these are tactics of an enemy who cannot destroy you but hopes to distract you. His strategy is subtle, not always chaos, but confusion. If he can make you question who you are, he can delay what you are called to do. But you have been trained in silence for this moment. The stillness that once felt like abandonment was God's classroom. You were being taught to hear frequencies others ignore, the divine patterns in storms, the quiet counsel in sleepless hours. You learned to recognize the difference between God's delay and the enemy's distraction. You learned to stand still and let heaven fight for you. Your light terrifies darkness. Chosen one. It's not your words, not your appearance, not your status. It's the authority that flows through you when you believe. There are realms that respond to your faith. When you speak the name of Jesus in faith, whole atmospheres shift. The unseen trembles because they remember what that name once did to them, as revealed in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. End 1. These are not poetic words, they are intelligence reports from heaven. You have been enlisted in a divine mission. The battle you face is not against people, it is against patterns. It is not about personalities, it is about principalities. The anger, the confusion, the fear that sometimes rises within you, they are not your identity. They are attempts to invade your peace. And yet, the victory is already written. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The cross already sealed the outcome. Your task is to stand in agreement with what heaven has already declared. When the darkness whispers, "You're not strong enough," you answer with truth. "I am covered, and I am chosen." There are moments when your spirit senses danger before your eyes see it. That is discernment. Heaven's early warning system. Do not ignore those holy nudges. When your spirit feels unrest, pause and listen. The Spirit of God is often louder in silence than in noise. He is teaching you to fight, not by reacting, but by responding with wisdom. Every battle you faced has given you strategy. You've learned when to speak and when to stay silent, when to move and when to wait. You've learned that peace is not weakness, but warfare. The calm in your spirit is a fortress that confuses the enemy. When you refuse to be shaken, you disarm what was meant to harm you. There are legions assigned to guard you. Heaven has deployed protection around you that you cannot see. Even when you felt most vulnerable, angels were standing at your side, blocking arrows you never saw coming. You have walked through danger that could have destroyed others, but grace carried you through unseen fire. So now, when the pressure increases, don't fear. Pressure is proof that purpose is near. You are moving deeper into your divine assignment, and the resistance you feel is confirmation, not condemnation. The presence of warfare does not mean you are losing, it means you are valuable. The thief does not break into empty houses. Hold your ground. Keep your peace. Let worship be your weapon and truth be your shield. Every word you speak in faith cuts through darkness like lightning. You are not weak, and you are not alone. Heaven fights beside you, within you, and for you. You are the light that darkness cannot comprehend, the sound that breaks spiritual silence. When you walk into a room, you bring order to chaos, clarity to confusion, peace to turmoil. This is your calling, not to escape the battle, but to stand as proof that light still wins. You are standing on the edge of a great decision. Chosen one. You feel it, the pull between comfort and calling, between the life you've known and the life waiting on the other side of obedience. Heaven is quiet right now, not because God is far away, but because He is waiting for your yes. The next move belongs to you. This is that thin, trembling moment before dawn, when the world is still holding its breath, and the first light begins to break through the horizon. That light is your decision. Every time you choose faith over fear, light wins another inch. Every time you say, "Yes, Lord," even with trembling hands, heaven moves closer. There is a divine hesitation in your heart, the kind that only appears before transformation. The Spirit is whispering, "Don't stay where you were comfortable. Step where you are called." Comfort will keep you safe, but calling will make you alive. As spoken in the book of Joshua, chapter 24, verse 15, "Choose for yourselves this day whom you will serve." Empty. This moment is not about religious performance, it's about alignment. To serve is to surrender, not out of fear, but out of love. When you give God your yes, you are not losing freedom, you are finding it. Many people hesitate at the edge of destiny because obedience often looks like risk. But heaven never asks for a step without already building the ground beneath it. The bridge appears after you walk. You cannot see it now, but every act of obedience creates a ripple that touches eternity. You have been carrying seeds, prayers, dreams, visions, and this moment is the soil. Seeds do not bloom if they are never planted. The decision to obey, to move, to act, is your way of placing those seeds into the ground. And yes, planting means burial, but burial is only the disguise of resurrection. So, as you stand here at this spiritual threshold, imagine a garden in heaven with your name written on it. Each word you speak in faith, each act of kindness, each step of obedience, they fall like seeds into that garden. And from those seeds, fruit will grow that feeds others. Your courage will become someone else's nourishment. That's why every like, every share, every word you send forward from this message isn't just an action, it's a seed. You're helping heaven's message reach another soul, standing where you once stood, trembling between doubt and destiny. Maybe your small gesture becomes the very thing that saves someone's tomorrow. And if your heart feels stirred to give, to sow into the soil that is watering your own faith, do it not from pressure, but from understanding. You don't donate to a person, you plant into a mission. You're fueling the voice that heaven is using to awaken others like you. It's like pouring oil into a lamp so that the light can keep burning in the darkness. Every gift, every offering, becomes a flame that reaches further than you'll ever see. But even more than giving, I ask you to share this message. Let it travel beyond your screen. Let it land where hearts are hungry for hope. You never know, the person who hears this next might be one moment away from giving up. You might be the hand heaven uses to pull them back into purpose. And if this word has touched you, subscribe, not as a casual click, but as a declaration that you are part of this divine movement. Think of it like joining a fellowship of lights across the world, an invisible network of hearts burning for the same purpose. When you subscribe, you're not just following content, you're connecting to a current. This is how heaven builds, through connection, through unity, through small acts of faith that ripple across eternity. So stand firm, beloved. You are no longer on the sidelines of your own story. You are standing at the border of breakthrough. Your obedience is the key that will open the next door. And every time you act in faith, in generosity, in courage, heaven writes another line in your destiny's chapter. This isn't manipulation. This is invitation. Heaven is not begging for your hand, it's extending its own. The kingdom doesn't need your offering to survive. It invites it so that you can thrive. Because giving aligns your heart with the heart of God, and hearts aligned with heaven never run empty. So if this message finds a home in your spirit, let your heart respond freely. Like it as a witness. Share it as a seed. Subscribe as a commitment. And give as a gesture of gratitude. You are not just consuming light, you are becoming part of how it shines. The edge you stand on is not a cliff, it's a launching point. And when you leap in faith, heaven will catch you. There are signs all around you. Chosen one, Zutler. Sacred patterns whispering that heaven has been guiding your path all along. Have you noticed how certain numbers, moments, or encounters keep returning to you? How divine coincidences seem to form a language that only your spirit understands. This is no random rhythm. This is heaven communicating through code. You are living inside a divine sequence. Nothing in your life has been wasted. Every season, every delay, every victory has been numbered with purpose. God does not work in chaos. He works in patterns. And the same God who set the stars in perfect formation has aligned your life with holy precision. There are numbers that carry weight in the spirit, symbols of completion, new beginnings, divine timing. When you see them, it is as if the veil between heaven and earth thins for a moment, and heaven whispers, "I'm still here. Keep walking." Perhaps you have been noticing certain sequences on clocks, receipts, pages, or dreams. You dismissed them at first, thinking they were nothing, but deep inside, your spirit stirred, because it recognized the signature of the divine. Heaven speaks in ways that the logical mind overlooks, but the awakened heart understands. As recorded in the writings of the prophet Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 2, write down the revelation and make it plain on tablets. End of. Prophetic numbers are not superstition, they are conversation. They are heaven's way of catching your attention when words fail. When you see them, don't fear, listen. Ask, what is heaven trying to tell me? Because numbers, like notes in a melody, create harmony when interpreted by the Spirit. Right now, there is a number burning in the atmosphere around you, the number 444. It carries a divine rhythm of establishment, protection, and stability. It is heaven's whisper saying, "You are covered. You are grounded. You are right where you need to be." The number 4 has always been symbolic of structure and creation. 4 corners of the earth. 4 winds. 4 living creatures before the throne. When heaven repeats it, it means that divine foundations are being laid beneath your feet. You may not see the architecture yet, but the blueprint is complete. The construction has begun. When you see 444, understand this: the chaos around you is not evidence of collapse, it's evidence of construction. Heaven is rearranging things beneath the surface. The delay you're frustrated about is not denial, it's design. God is not just blessing you, He's building you. The walls that seem to close in are actually forming a fortress around your destiny. You are being established, not shaken, not uncertain, but rooted. And in this hour, heaven is confirming your foundation is secure. Take a moment to remember where you once were, how unstable everything felt, how easily you wavered. Now look at you, steady, aware, resilient. That's not just growth, that's divine architecture. You are becoming a temple that carries presence. So, when you see the number 444, don't just notice it, respond to it. Let it remind you that heaven is working in silence, building something permanent from what once looked temporary. It's a reminder that you are not drifting, you are being directed. You may have thought that heaven forgot your prayers, but 444 is the sign that every promise is still under construction. The nails are in, the walls are rising, the blueprint is being fulfilled. What looks like waiting is actually the sound of hammers in the spirit. And when you comment 444, you're not just typing digits, you are aligning yourself with heaven's building process. You are declaring, I trust the plan, I trust the builder. Comment it now, 444, not out of habit, but as a prophetic act. Because when your fingers type those numbers, heaven records your agreement. It becomes a signature on the contract between your faith and God's design. And let this be your understanding. Every time you see 444, pause and breathe. Remind yourself, I am being built. I am being secured. I am being strengthened. Even when the wind howls, the foundation remains unshaken. You are the house built upon the rock. So hold your peace. Stay planted. Let the world rush by, but let your soul remain anchored. Heaven is not improvising your life, it is orchestrating it. The divine blueprint has been unrolled, and the master builder has not made a mistake. You are not lost in the pattern, you are the pattern. You are the living evidence that heaven designs with precision and purpose. So stand in alignment, chosen one, and declare your trust. Comment 444 and let heaven know you understand the message. There is a stillness that comes before judgment, a sacred pause where mercy lingers, hoping you will notice its presence before it quietly steps back. You may have felt that tension recently. Chosen one, the sense that something unseen is shifting, that heaven's patience is thinning, not from anger, but from purpose. Grace does not expire, but opportunities do. And right now, the window is narrowing. Heaven's mercy has hovered over your life longer than you realize. Every moment you could have been lost, yet somehow found safety, was not luck, it was divine restraint. Every time you turned away and still woke up with breath in your lungs, mercy had been interceding for you. Every delay in judgment was love, trying to give you another chance to align. But mercy is not weakness. It is strength held back by compassion. When God pauses His justice, it's not because He's forgotten what happened, it's because He's giving you space to respond. Mercy waits, but it does not wait forever. There comes a moment when the door that has been open begins to close, not as punishment, but as preservation, as declared in the book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 3. My spirit will not contend with humans forever. 1. These are solemn words, yet they carry hope. They remind you that divine patience has purpose, not permanence. The Spirit strives, calls, warns, convicts, but not endlessly. Eventually, love must step aside so that truth can finish what it began. You have felt the pull of conviction, that quiet voice urging you to release what no longer serves your spirit, to walk away from cycles that keep dimming your light. Those nudges are not guilt, they are invitations. Conviction is not a weapon, it's a rescue. It's heaven saying, "Come back before the light fades." There are choices that once seemed harmless, but have begun to shape your spirit. Habits that once brought comfort now carry corrosion. The world calls them freedom, heaven calls them chains. But the beautiful thing about grace is that it never shames you. It simply holds out its hand and whispers, "You don't have to stay here." Mercy is a doorway, not a decoration. It's not meant to be admired from afar. It's meant to be walked through. You can feel the threshold under your feet even now, the moment between delay and destiny, between hesitation and healing. The question is not whether God is willing. The question is whether you are ready. The Spirit has been speaking to you in subtle ways through fatigue when you walk in disobedience, through restlessness when you linger in the wrong place, through peace when you finally let go. Heaven communicates not only through words, but through the rhythm of your soul. When you feel drained, doing what used to excite you, it may be God's way of saying, "This season is over." You are being called to step out of cycles that have kept you circling the same mountains. You've been fighting storms that no longer need to be fought, storms born not from destiny, but from delay. The Holy Spirit is not angry with you. He is urging you, with holy urgency, to stop delaying obedience. There is a moment when the ark door begins to close, when the rain starts to fall, and the time for building turns into the time for believing. You are nearing that moment. Heaven is not trying to frighten you, it's trying to awaken you. The shaking you feel around you is not destruction, it's construction. The cracks are appearing so you can move before they collapse. Mercy does not vanish overnight, it fades through neglect. Every time you feel that inner tug and silence it, the voice grows fainter. But when you respond, even with trembling, the voice grows stronger, clearer, more familiar. Obedience amplifies grace. You might think, "But I've waited too long." No, if you're still hearing this message, the door is not shut yet. The key is still in your hand. You can still turn it. You can still walk through. The same mercy that shielded you yesterday is standing before you now, holding out its hand one more time. And if your heart feels heavy as you read this, that weight is not condemnation, it's invitation. It's heaven's way of saying, there's still time to come home. The window may be closing, but the way is still open. Step through it. Release what you've been clinging to. Don't trade eternal purpose for temporary comfort. Heaven is too close for hesitation now. The Spirit who has been whispering in the dark is ready to breathe new life into you. But you must answer while the whisper still lingers, because once the door closes, even the loudest knock will echo unanswered. Beloved, This is not a threat, it's a rescue call. Mercy is still standing by the door. Step through before silence replaces invitation. There is something stirring in the invisible, a sound like metal striking flame, a forging that only heaven can perform. The atmosphere around your life is changing. Chosen one, because the time for concealment has ended. The armory of heaven is opening, and inside it, weapons are being assigned to those who have endured the refining. You are one of them. You may not have realized it, but every trial you've faced has been training. Every wound has been teaching you how to wield something greater than words' authority. You have been learning how to stand when others fall, how to hold your peace when chaos demands reaction. That discipline has not gone unnoticed. Heaven trains its warriors in silence before sending them into sound. Now, the Spirit of God begins to equip you. What once broke you is now the material of your strength. Every tear has become oil, every scar a seal. You are not being sent into battle empty-handed. The weapons of your warfare are not visible, but they are devastating in the spirit. They are forged from purity, prayer, and perseverance, as revealed in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. Oh, this armor is not ornamental, it is operational. It does not hang in a closet of faith, it wraps itself around your life. The belt of truth holds your core steady when lies try to bend your resolve. The breastplate of righteousness guards your heart when accusation rises. The shield of faith quenches every dart of doubt. And the helmet of salvation protects your mind when fear whispers. The armor you wear is not given to the comfortable, it is fitted to those who have known warfare. That's why your journey felt heavier than others. Heaven was measuring your endurance, ensuring that when this armor settled on your shoulders, it would not crush you. You were not being punished. You were being prepared to carry the weight of victory. There are angels who look upon you and see what you cannot yet perceive, a warrior cloaked in light. The world sees exhaustion. Heaven sees readiness. You have been standing even when you didn't understand why. You prayed when it felt pointless, believed when you saw no sign, loved when you had reason to hate. Each of those moments forged unseen strength within you. And now, that strength becomes your weapon. When you speak, your words carry weight because they are born from wounds healed by grace. When you worship, the sound vibrates through dimensions, scattering shadows that had grown comfortable in your atmosphere. When you pray, you do not plead as a beggar, you command as an heir. You carry the authority of one who has survived the fire without losing their faith. Understand this: every weapon heaven gives you is activated by obedience. Your sword is sharpest when your words align with truth. Your shield is strongest when your faith stands unmoved. The enemy's goal is not always to destroy you. Sometimes it's to make you drop what you carry. But you are wiser now. You no longer fight with fear, you fight with focus. There is a rhythm to spiritual warfare, a balance between advancing and resting. Even warriors must learn when to put down their sword and let God fight. You are not called to exhaust yourself, but to position yourself. When you are still in obedience, heaven still moves. When you rest in trust, the battle continues without your hands. That is maturity, knowing when to move and when to remain. You may not see the battlefields, but you can feel the shift, the heaviness that sometimes comes without reason, the sudden sense of resistance Those are tremors in the unseen. Do not fear them, discern them. You are not at their mercy. They are at your command. You have the right to declare peace over your home, to rebuke chaos, to silence fear. The weapons you wield respond to your voice. The darkness has studied you, but it still cannot comprehend you. It doesn't understand how you keep standing, how you keep forgiving, how you keep believing. That confusion is your advantage. Every time you choose love, it disrupts hell's calculations. Every time you speak faith, you release heaven's reinforcement. You are not merely surviving, you are advancing. Do not underestimate the quiet power you now carry. You have been equipped for this era, a generation drowning in noise but starving for truth. Your armor gleams not because of what you've avoided, but because of what you've overcome. The battle that once terrified you now recognizes your authority. So walk forward, warrior of light, not with arrogance, but with assurance. The same God who trained your hands for war has also taught your heart to love. The two together make you unstoppable. You do not fight to prove who you are. You fight because you already know. You are armed. You are anointed. You are ready. You have felt it for years, a heaviness in your family line. Patterns that repeat across generations like old songs no one remembers how to silence. The same struggles that haunted your parents now circle around you. The same fears, the same delays, the same battles. You've prayed, you've wept, and still it feels like something ancient clings to your name. But heaven is saying now, the cycle ends with you. What you're feeling is not coincidence, it is confrontation. You are standing in a divine moment where heaven is calling you to break what your ancestors could not. You have been chosen as the one who ends what has enslaved generations before you. The weight on your shoulders is not just your own burden, it is centuries of unfinished spiritual business. And you, chosen one, are heaven's answer to it. The warfare you've been fighting isn't only about your present, it's about your lineage. You are standing as an intercessor for those who came before you and those who will come after. You carry the authority to cut through curses, to rewrite bloodlines, to release freedom where captivity once ruled, as declared by the prophet Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 27. The anointing breaks the yoke. Think of it this way. Your life is a door between two worlds. Behind you are the wounds of generations, and before you, the promise of restoration. Every act of obedience you choose becomes a hinge that swings that door toward freedom. When you forgive someone your family never could, you break a pattern. When you walk in purity where others fell into compromise, you plant a new seed. When you speak blessing instead of bitterness, you rewrite destiny. The chains don't break by accident, they break by decision. You don't fight with physical might, but with spiritual surrender. The true weapon that destroys generational bondage is submission to God's will. The moment you say, I choose light over legacy, the heavens move. Many in your bloodline may never understand you. You will be misunderstood, even mocked, because breaking chains make noise. Freedom always disturbs those comfortable in captivity. But remember, they laughed at Moses before they followed him out of Egypt. The resistance you face is proof that you are confronting something real. You've probably felt the battle in your emotions, your finances, your relationships. The attacks always seem to hit in the same places, like familiar storms. That's how generational warfare works. It studies patterns. But now, heaven has changed the equation. You are no longer reacting. You are responding with revelation. You are no longer surviving the storm. You are commanding it to be still. The enemy counted on your silence. He thought you would grow weary and give up like those before you. But what he didn't anticipate was your awakening. You have seen the pattern, and that awareness alone is his defeat. Light exposes what darkness has hidden, and once seen, it cannot remain unbroken. This is why your heart has been under such pressure. Heaven has been pouring oil into you, oil for deliverance, oil for restoration, oil for warfare. That oil will not only protect you, it will overflow onto your family, your children, your children's children. What tormented the generations before you will tremble at your name. You are not only breaking chains, you are building altars. The ground that once soaked tears of sorrow will now witness songs of victory. The family name that once carried shame will now carry testimony. And generations to come will say, "It ended with them. It began with me." So, take this moment seriously. Beloved, heaven does not waste words. The message you are hearing now is not simply encouragement, it's instruction. Stand tall in your identity. Speak with authority. Walk as the one who has been entrusted to rebuild the ancient ruins. And as an act of faith, let heaven hear your declaration. Comment, "It ends now." Oh, those 3 words may seem simple, but in the spirit, they thunder. When you type them, you are not just commenting, you are commanding, you are agreeing with heaven's decree that the cycle is finished. The addictions, the anxiety, the failures that seemed hereditary, they stop here. You are drawing a line that darkness cannot cross. Declare it with conviction. It ends now. Let those words become a hammer that strikes every invisible chain. Say it as prophecy. Say it as prayer. Say it as promise. Because heaven listens when the chosen speak. The same Spirit that raised Christ from the dead is moving through your bloodline now. And once the anointing flows, no curse can remain. You were not chosen to continue the pain, you were chosen to cancel it. This is your moment of holy defiance. The yokes are breaking, the lineage is shifting, and your family's story will never sound the same again. There is a crown waiting for you. Chosen one, not a crown of gold, but of glory. It isn't stored in glass cases or displayed in palaces. It is being formed from your faithfulness, your endurance, your secret yeses to God when no one else was watching. You may not see it yet, but heaven has been shaping it in silence, thread by thread. Through every season, you refuse to quit. This crown is not earned by perfection, but by persistence. Each time you prayed while breaking, each time you forgave while bleeding, each time you gave when you had little, a jewel was added to your crown. Heaven has been weaving your obedience into something eternal, as spoken in the letter of James, chapter 1, verse 12. Blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, for they will receive the crown of life. These are not empty words. They are the blueprint of divine reward. The crown of life is not only a promise for eternity, it is a reflection of your present authority. You are walking through fire, but the flames are polishing what will one day shine from your spirit. Think of your crown like a sunrise. No one sees the first light breaking through the clouds, but when it finally rises, The whole horizon glows. That's how destiny reveals itself quietly, consistently, until suddenly it is undeniable. The darkness you're walking through right now is not proof that you've been forgotten, it's proof that dawn is near. But here's what few understand. Crowns don't just appear, they are sustained. Even the most brilliant light requires oil to burn. The lamp in the temple was not meant to go out, and neither is the flame of your purpose. That's why connection matters. That's why community matters. The flame you're protecting must be fed with fuel, prayer, encouragement, and yes, the support of those who believe in what God is doing through you. When you like, share, or subscribe, you're not just engaging with a message, you're helping carry its flame into other hearts. Each action is like passing the torch further into the darkness. Maybe someone scrolling tonight is standing where you once stood, weary, hopeless, ready to give up. Your single act of sharing could be the spark that reignites their faith. And if your spirit feels led to give, to donate, let it be from understanding, not obligation. Think of your offering as oil. Oil doesn't just keep one lamp burning, it spreads the light further. Every seed sown becomes fuel that sustains the voice heaven is using to reach the lost, to heal the weary, to awaken the chosen. You're not giving to a screen, you're giving through it into lives you may never meet. But heaven will never forget. When you partner in faith, you become part of the story. Heaven is writing, you help build the altar where others will find restoration. You become like the hand that holds up the prophet's arm during battle, unseen but essential. The message doesn't move by algorithms, it moves by anointing. And every act of generosity strengthens that flow. So if this word has touched your spirit, share it not because you have to, but because you get to. Someone out there is one message away from breakthrough. You could be the bridge between their despair and their awakening. And if your heart stirs to give, let it be an act of worship. Say quietly to yourself, this is my oil. Lord, let it burn for you. There's no amount too small in heaven's economy, because obedience always multiplies. The woman who poured her oil on Jesus' feet didn't fund a ministry. She anointed a moment, and centuries later, her offering is still remembered. When you subscribe, you're not just joining a channel, you're stepping into a movement, a family of lights scattered across the earth, each carrying their flame, each declaring, we will not let the fire die. Together, we become a constellation, distant stars forming a single message. Hope still lives. Light still wins. So, beloved, wear your invisible crown proudly. You've earned it through endurance. You've carried it through storms. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for recognition not from people, but from heaven. Every act of faith, every like, every share, every gift becomes another jewel in your crown. And one day, when all is said and done, you will cast that crown at his feet, knowing every sacrifice, every tear, every choice to keep going was worth it. The air feels heavy, doesn't it? As if something invisible is pressing close, whispering that you're not enough, that you won't make it, that you've gone too far. These are not random thoughts. Chosen one, they are the final distractions before destiny. When the enemy realizes he can no longer destroy you, he shifts to discouragement. He tries to convince you to lay down your sword voluntarily. You've been through so much that fatigue has started to feel like a normal rhythm. The battle doesn't always roar anymore. Sometimes it just hums quietly in the background of your soul. You sense that something unseen keeps testing your peace, waiting for you to break. But listen carefully. The intensity you feel is not evidence of defeat, it's evidence of nearing breakthrough. Darkness always fights hardest before it loses its grip. As spoken in the book of Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 17, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper." That promise is not poetic comfort, it is divine law. Weapons will form, but they will fail. They may pierce your outer defenses, but they cannot pierce your purpose. You are wrapped in something unbreakable, the covering of divine assignment. What was meant to wound you becomes material for your next victory. Think of it like this. A blacksmith forges a sword by striking it repeatedly. The blows that could destroy weak metal are what strengthen the chosen steel. You are that steel. Every strike against you has been shaping resilience. Every attack, every betrayal, every moment you felt abandoned, heaven has turned them into endurance. What was meant to make you shatter has made you sharp. The enemy has studied your life. He knows your fears, your insecurities, the memories that still ache. But he underestimated one thing: your transformation. You are not the same person you were when the battle began. The wounds that once made you hesitate now remind you of survival. You have bled, yes, but you have also healed. You carry the proof that the light inside you cannot be extinguished. The final assault often comes disguised as exhaustion, not in your body, but in your spirit. You feel like resting, not because you're lazy, but because you've been fighting unseen wars for so long. And yet, even in that weariness, there's a flicker that refuses to die. That flicker is hope small, steady, stubborn. It's the voice that says, "I've come too far to stop now." In this moment, heaven is surrounding you with unseen reinforcement. Angels are moving quietly, arranging strength where you thought none remained. You are being refueled, not in noise, but in stillness. This battle will not end by force, it will end by faith. When you choose to believe that victory is already secured, the darkness loses its authority to keep fighting. There are times when God allows the enemy to roar, not to frighten you, but to reveal how powerless he truly is. The roar may sound loud, but it carries no bite. The enemy cannot touch what God has sealed. You are marked by divine ownership, untouchable in spirit, unstoppable in destiny. You've endured nights when your prayers felt unanswered. But even silence is strategy. Heaven often hides movement so that the enemy cannot anticipate direction. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. The greatest victories are often secured behind curtains of stillness. So breathe. Beloved, rest your spirit in assurance. You are not losing, you are lasting. You are not breaking, you are building. Every weapon that has been raised against you will fall before your endurance. The curses spoken will turn into catalysts. The setbacks will transform into setups. And when the dust settles, when the last lie fades, when the final shadow retreats, you will stand taller, carrying scars that shine like armor, because those who survive the enemy's last attempt become unshakable. The moment you realize nothing can truly destroy you is the moment you become indestructible. This is where you are now. The final push. The last wave. the storm before the sunrise. Don't give up. Don't interpret fatigue as failure. The heavens have already written your outcome. The enemy is not fighting your weakness, he's fighting your future. That's why it feels personal. Hold your ground. Warrior, this season will pass. And when it does, you will see clearly why the battle had to happen. The roar will fade. The light will return. And what once terrified, you will become testimony. You are not defeated. You are defined. You are not finished. You are fortified. And the darkness that tried to drown you will one day wish it hadn't touched you at all. There is a holy fire stirring within you. Chosen one, a flame that has been waiting for permission to burn without restraint. You have walked through storms, endured silence, and survived battles that should have extinguished your spirit. Yet the fire remains. It flickers in moments of worship, in late-night tears, in sudden bursts of courage when you thought you had nothing left. That fire is not emotional. It is eternal. It is the presence of the Holy Spirit igniting your calling again. You may not realize it, but heaven has been preparing this very moment. The oil of endurance that was pressed out of your pain is now ready to meet divine flame. And when oil meets fire, something uncontainable begins to happen. Transformation, revival, awakening. This is not a gentle spark. It is a consuming blaze that purifies everything in its path. There was a time when you tried to hide your fire, to blend in, to dim your glow, so others would feel comfortable. But no more. The days of shrinking are over. You cannot carry the breath of heaven and remain invisible. Fire was never meant to be quiet. When God marks someone with flame, the world will notice, as declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 3, verse 11. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire. End quote. The fire of God is not destructive to the obedient. It is liberating. It doesn't come to harm you. It comes to heal you through holy refinement. The same way gold must enter the furnace to reveal its purity. Your life has passed through divine flame to expose your authenticity. The impurities that once clung to you, fear, doubt, guilt, are melting away. What remains is your true self, bold, radiant, unstoppable. And yet, this fire has another purpose. It doesn't only purify, it empowers. The flames that once frightened you are now your fuel. When the Spirit burns within you, you no longer need external motivation. You move by divine compulsion. The words you speak, the love you show, the boldness you carry, all of it flows from the flame. People will begin to notice something different about you. They won't be able to name it, but they will feel it. Rooms will shift when you enter, because fire always changes the atmosphere. The timid will find courage near you. The broken will find warmth. The lost will feel drawn to the light, flickering from your spirit. This is what it means to be sealed with fire, to carry heaven wherever you go. And yes, the world will test that flame. Darkness despises light because light exposes its illusions. There will be moments when you feel pressure to tone it down, to make your calling more acceptable, to fit into spaces that were never built for your brilliance. But remember, you were not called to fit in, you were called to stand out. Fire cannot disguise itself as smoke. The Spirit within you is not a temporary emotion, it's an eternal engine. Every time you worship, every time you choose love over offense, every time you obey, when no one sees, the fire grows stronger. And this is the season where heaven wants that fire to go public. There are souls waiting for the warmth of your obedience. Your fire is not just for you, it's for the world that forgot what light feels like. When you burn, others remember how to hope again. When you burn, the atmosphere shifts from despair to expectation. But the fire must be honored. It must be tended. Fire left unattended will fade. That's why you must feed it daily through prayer, through gratitude, through staying close to the Word. The altar of your heart must never go cold again. The moment you feel distant, whisper a prayer and let the breath of God fan your flame back to life. And now, heaven invites you to make a declaration, not with words alone, but with agreement. Let the number be your covenant. Let it echo as a symbol of readiness. Comment 555 below. This is no ordinary number. It represents divine grace, multiplied grace to change, grace to carry, grace to rise. When you type 555, you are saying, I receive the fire. I embrace the transformation. I will not run from the flame. It is your prophetic act, your signature under heaven's new chapter for your life. Type it boldly and let the Spirit know you are ready. The fire is not coming, it's here. It lives in you, burns through you, and will soon shine from you in ways the world cannot deny. You are sealed. You are sanctified. You are set ablaze. And from this moment forward, nothing, no storm, no fear, no darkness will ever be able to extinguish what God Himself has ignited. The fire has fallen, but now comes the refining. Every chosen one must pass through the flame, not only as proof of purity, but as preparation for permanence. You are walking through the refiner's process, a holy heat designed not to destroy you, but to define you. This is the moment when everything false melts away, and everything real endures. It is easy to love the anointing, but few understand the refining. The fire that once felt glorious can suddenly feel cruel when it touches what you thought was safe. You've probably asked, why does it still hurt if I'm doing what's right? Because the refiner's fire does not punish, it perfects. It burns away the fragments that can't survive your next level. The refining doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in places that test every hidden motive. God is not trying to embarrass you. He is trying to expose anything that cannot carry the weight of your calling. The gold must face the furnace before it glows. The vessel must endure the kiln before it can hold glory. You may not see it, but what feels like chaos is actually order. Fire looks wild, but it moves with divine intelligence. It knows what to touch and what to spare. The flames that surround you are not random, they are targeted. Precise. Merciful. God knows how much heat your heart can bear, and He never allows it beyond what will refine you. As revealed in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 3, He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. No, notice that He sits. That means He is not pacing nervously, nor is He distant. He is present, patient, and watchful. The refiner sits close enough to the fire to see his reflection forming in the metal. The process is complete only when he can see himself clearly in you. That is what this season is about, transformation, until His image appears through you. The flames have been fierce lately, haven't they? Relationships tested, dreams delayed, prayers unanswered. Yet, in the middle of the heat, something inside you remains unshaken. That's how you know the fire is working. It is removing the temporary so that only the eternal remains. The fear that once controlled you has been burned out. The pride that once blinded you is turning to humility. The self-doubt that once silenced you is being purified into confidence. Refining seasons are quiet. You don't get applause in the furnace. No one sees your internal battle. The outer world may think you're inactive, but heaven sees the transformation in motion. It's like watching a seed, underground, invisible, yet alive. You may feel hidden, but you are becoming. Do not mistake isolation for abandonment. The refiner often works in solitude because fire reveals what silence conceals. In this stillness, your motives are tested, your endurance stretched, your faith proved. And when you emerge, you will not just shine, you will radiate. The fire is not your enemy, it is your mirror. It reveals what was always inside you. You are discovering a strength that pain could not kill. You are realizing that faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to walk through fear without surrendering. Every time you refuse to complain in the heat, heaven writes it down. Every tear you cry while staying faithful becomes a drop of oil that will one day anoint your next season. You are storing up glory even when it doesn't feel glorious. The refining will end, and when it does, you will look back and see what God was doing all along. The ashes around you will no longer speak of loss, but of transformation. What you thought you lost was simply what could not follow you forward. You will notice it in small ways, the peace that no longer leaves you easily, the discernment that arrives without explanation, the wisdom that flows from wounds once raw. These are signs that the process is working. You are being sculpted into something heaven can trust with more authority. The furnace is not forever. There comes a moment when the refiner leans close, sees his reflection, and smiles. Then the flames lower, and the vessel cools solid, pure, and ready. That is where you are headed. One day soon, you'll realize that the same fire that almost consumed you also crowned you. You'll see that the heat was never against you, it was within you, shaping endurance, birthing purpose, and revealing glory. So don't run from the refining, rest in it. Let the process finish what it started. The fire will pass, and you will remain radiant, refined, and ready for the next assignment. You were never meant to walk this road alone. The refining that shaped you was never only for you, it was preparing you to find the others, somewhere across the earth, in cities and valleys, in quiet rooms and crowded streets. Hearts like yours are waking up. They feel the same stirring, the same calling, the same holy discontent that whispers, there must be more. They are the remnant heaven's hidden army, and you are part of them. The world does not see them yet. They look ordinary teachers, artists, workers, mothers, sons, but inside, their spirits blaze with the same light that now burns within you. They have endured rejection, isolation, and fire, just as you have. Each one has walked through their own wilderness, yet none of those paths were wasted. They were converging, guided by unseen hands toward this very moment. This is the gathering of the remnant, the reunion of souls who said yes when others turned away. Heaven has been weaving you together silently, like threads in a divine tapestry. Individually, you shine, but together you blaze. Alone you are a flame. United, you are a constellation. As declared in the book of Micah, Chapter 2, verse 12. At that time I will gather the remnant of Israel. I will bring them together like sheep in a pen, like a flock in its pasture. This promise speaks not only to a nation, but to a generation, the ones who refuse to bow, who refuse to be silenced, who carried truth even when it cost them. You are part of a spiritual lineage that stretches across time. Those who came before you planted seeds of courage that now bloom in your heart, and those who come after you will walk in the shade of the trees you are planting today. The gathering of the remnant is not about fame or recognition. It's about alignment. Heaven is connecting hearts, not headlines. The world builds platforms. God builds people. The kingdom does not need more celebrities. It needs carriers. Carriers of fire. Carriers of truth. Carriers of hope. And that is exactly what you are. And now the wind of the Spirit is blowing across the earth, drawing the remnant out of hiding. Suddenly, you'll begin to notice them, people whose words resonate with your spirit, whose presence feels like home. You'll find yourself in conversations that feel divinely orchestrated, in communities that carry the same frequency of faith. That is not coincidence. That is the sound of the gathering. The remnant are not perfect. They are purified. They carry scars but also songs. They have seen darkness but still believe in light. They know pain, but they also know power. And when they unite, their combined faith shifts atmospheres. This movement is not flashy. It will not always be televised or trending. It will often look like quiet faithfulness, people praying in living rooms, creating art that heals, standing for truth when it's unpopular. Yet every act of obedience sends a ripple through eternity. There is strength in knowing you are not alone. For too long, the enemy tried to convince you that your difference was isolation, but heaven calls it identification. What sets you apart connects you to others like you. Every chosen one carries a piece of the divine puzzle, and the picture is only complete when the pieces meet. You will soon see collaborations born not from ambition, but from assignment, partnerships formed not for profit, but for purpose. Heaven is uniting dreamers, intercessors, creators, leaders, all carrying the same heartbeat to see light prevail. And when the remnant rises, the world will not understand at first. They will see ordinary people doing extraordinary things and wonder, how? But the answer will be simple, because heaven decided it was time. You, beloved, are part of that decision. Your endurance made you eligible. Your obedience made you visible. The scars you carry have become signals in the spirit, guiding other warriors home. So when you meet them, those who carry the same fire, recognize them, speak life into them, strengthen their hands. The remnant is not built on competition, but on communion. There is no hierarchy among those who burn for the same flame. And as you gather, remember this: the power of one flame can warm a heart, but the power of many can change the world. Together, the remnant will bring light to cities, healing to nations, and hope to generations that thought faith had faded. The gathering has begun. The wind is moving. The embers are finding each other, and soon, what was once scattered will become a blazing army of light that darkness will never be able to silence again. The time for hiding has passed. The remnant has gathered. The fire is burning, and heaven is calling for a public stand. Chosen one. This is no longer the season of silence. It is the season of declaration. You were never meant to whisper your faith in the shadows. You were designed to let your light roar in the open. There are moments in history when truth demands visibility, and this is one of them. You may feel hesitant, wondering if your voice matters in a world drowning in noise. But light doesn't compete with darkness, it replaces it. Your presence is not another echo, it is a trumpet. When you speak truth, even softly, it cuts through confusion like dawn, slicing through night. The courage you show might be the spark someone else has been waiting for to rise again. As spoken by Jesus in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 32, "Whoever acknowledges me before others, I will also acknowledge before my Father in heaven." These words are more than a command, they are a covenant. When you stand for heaven on earth, heaven stands for you in eternity. When you speak his name in public, he speaks yours in the courts of glory. The world may misunderstand, but heaven will recognize you. Now is the time to step out of the background. Think of your life like a lighthouse standing on the shore. Ships in stormy seas depend on your glow to find direction. If you dim yourself out of fear, they will drift. But when you shine, even through wind and rain, others find their way home. You were not built to be hidden behind hesitation. And this message you are hearing right now, it is part of your platform, not one of performance, but of purpose. Each like, each share, each word of encouragement you give is another beam of light extending outward. You never know who is scrolling through darkness tonight, searching for a reason to keep believing. Your single act might be the signal that rescues a soul. When you subscribe, you are not just joining a channel, you are anchoring yourself to a current of messages heaven uses to keep its army aligned. Like a river carrying sparks to dry land, these messages ignite hearts you may never meet. You are not just a listener, you are a carrier. And if you feel stirred to give, to donate, let it come from a heart that understands what fuel does for fire. Oil does not beg to burn, it exists to sustain the flame. Your offering is not an obligation, it's an act of partnership. You are helping the message travel farther, reach deeper, and shine longer. Think of it as adding another log to the campfire that warms the cold and draws wanderers home. Heaven doesn't count amounts, it counts agreement. Even the smallest act of generosity becomes a ripple that moves through eternity. When you give, you are saying, I believe in this light. Let it keep burning. And perhaps more than anything else, engage. Leave your words in the comments. Not for vanity, but for victory. When you speak in the digital space, your testimony echoes. You are marking territory in an unseen realm. A comment can become a confession, a declaration, a spark that strengthens another soul who reads it at just the right time. You can write your amen, your gratitude, your declaration, something as simple as, I stand in light. Those 4 words may carry enough faith to shift an atmosphere. The comment section is not just text, it is a gathering of witnesses, a modern altar where believers meet across borders. The kingdom advances not through grand gestures, but through small, consistent acts of obedience, clicking, sharing, writing, giving. They may seem simple, but each one is a hammer, strike against silence. Each one helps build the bridge that carries the message farther. You are not being asked to perform, only to participate. Heaven is not recruiting spectators, but soldiers. This movement grows when hearts align and hands act. So, if you have ever wondered how to make a difference in a world that seems too loud, this is how. You speak. You share. You sow. You shine. Every post you spread is a candle in another's night. Every word you give is a drop of water on a weary seed. Every contribution keeps the flame alive for those who are still finding their way. You are part of a divine ecosystem, one body, many lights, one mission. So take your place in the open. Be the voice that won't quiet. Be the flame that doesn't fade. And when you act, when you like, when you share, when you support, when you speak, know this: heaven notices. You are not merely a follower of light. You are a builder of it. And the world needs the brightness that only your obedience can bring. The storm is almost over now. You can feel it, that faint calm rising beneath the chaos. That steady rhythm of peace returning after so much noise. It's not the silence of defeat, it's the stillness of victory settling in. The winds that once roared around you are losing their strength because heaven has already spoken the final word. You have endured what others could not. And now, the reward of endurance begins to unfold. This is the part of the story where light proves its supremacy. The darkness that once mocked your progress now retreats in silence. You no longer chase peace. Peace has begun to chase you. Everything that was meant to destroy you has become your testimony. What the enemy used to humiliate you now becomes the evidence of heaven's hand. There's something sacred about the quiet that follows war. When the dust settles, you start to see clearly what the battle was for. You realize that God wasn't only fighting for your survival, He was shaping your identity. Every bruise became wisdom. Every scar became language. You can now speak into storms because you've learned their language. As written in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 57, thanks be to God, who gives us the victory through our Lord, Jesus Christ. Victory changes posture. You no longer live reacting to darkness. You now move as one who commands light. You no longer pray as a beggar. You decree as a beloved. The shift has already happened. You might still see remnants of battle, but that's just the shadow of what once was. The enemy is defeated, and you are walking through the spoils of grace. Look at how far you've come. There were days you thought you wouldn't make it. Nights when your own thoughts became weapons. Yet somehow, here you are breathing, believing, building again. That somehow was never random. It was grace. Grace carried you when logic failed. Grace whispered when hope went silent. Grace turned what should have been endings into new beginnings. Victory is not loud, it's steady. It doesn't always come with applause or celebration. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the form of peace that doesn't make sense, of clarity that surprises you, of courage that feels natural where fear used to live. You look back and realize you are free from what used to hold you hostage. That is victory in its purest form. But even in triumph, stay humble. The crown is never meant to be worn in pride, but in gratitude. Remember the one who stood beside you in the fire, the one who lifted you when your strength collapsed. This victory belongs to him, yet he chose to share it with you. You carry heaven's honor, but it rests best on bowed heads. Victory also carries responsibility. What you've conquered privately, you must now guard publicly. The enemy rarely attacks from the front after losing. He waits for distraction. But this time, you know his patterns. You've learned discernment. You no longer react to noise. You recognize its source and silence it with peace. The mark of true victory is not domination, but dominion, walking with quiet authority. Not needing to prove anything to anyone. You don't need to announce that you've won. Your life will show it. Your peace will preach louder than your words. Your consistency will testify louder than your claims. And remember this, your victory is contagious. Others who see you standing will find courage to rise. Those still in their storms will see your endurance and believe that they too can make it through. That is how heaven multiplies victory, by turning survivors into symbols of hope. You are that symbol now. You are living proof that the darkness can be defeated, that grace outlasts grief, that purpose outlives pain. What once was your battlefield is now your garden. You walk through the same ground that once tried to bury you, but this time with flowers blooming at your feet. So, rest. Warrior, not in weariness, but in wonder. You have witnessed the faithfulness of God with your own eyes. You have seen the promise fulfilled, not just in your circumstances, but in your spirit. The fight was real, but the victory is eternal. Let peace settle upon you like dawn, light on still waters. You don't need to fight anymore. Just keep walking in the authority you've gained. Heaven is not clapping from afar. It is standing beside you, whispering, "Well done, faithful one. The war is over, and you have won. The crown is ready. The race that once felt endless has reached its sacred conclusion. You have walked through valleys and climbed unseen mountains. You have wrestled with fear, endured silence, and emerged radiant. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your reign. Heaven has been waiting for this moment. When your obedience and endurance meet divine recognition, the coronation of the chosen is not a ceremony of earthly applause, but of heavenly affirmation. All around you, though unseen, the atmosphere shifts. The courts of heaven stand still. The Father, who watched every tear, every act of faith, every moment, you chose light over darkness, now declares, "It is time." You are no longer merely a survivor. You are a ruler, not over people, but over purpose. The same world that once wounded, you will now witness your restoration, as spoken by the Apostle Paul in the second letter to Timothy, chapter 4, verse 8. "Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing." End of chapter. And as heaven places it upon you, something inside shifts. You feel lighter, freer, stronger. The weight that once bowed your shoulders now becomes the proof of your refinement. The pain you carried was not wasted. It was transmuted into wisdom. The ashes you once wore in mourning are now the dust that shines beneath your feet. Every season of loss has become a stepping stone toward glory. This moment is holy because it reveals the truth of your journey, that the goal was never perfection, but transformation. You were not chosen because you were flawless. You were chosen because you were willing. Heaven is not looking for the unbroken, but for the surrendered. You answered when others ignored, stood when others sat, believed when others mocked. That obedience is your crown. Now, as you stand, clothed in light, look around with spiritual eyes. You'll notice faces, the ones who prayed for you, the ones you inspired without realizing, the ones who watched you rise again and again. You were never only fighting for yourself. Your perseverance carried others on its shoulders. The echo of your endurance will ring across generations. Crowned, you begin to see differently. You recognize that authority is not about dominance, but about service. True power kneels to lift others. The crown doesn't make you superior, it makes you responsible. It calls you to carry compassion where judgment once lived, to extend mercy where others withheld it, to lead with humility because you know what it feels like to crawl. And in this revelation, peace settles deep within. You realize that the battles which once terrified you were actually ceremonies in disguise, each hardship a hidden anointing, each heartbreak a coronation rehearsal. What felt like breaking was really becoming. You will still face challenges, but they will no longer shake you. You've learned that storms do not steal crowns, they polish them. Every future battle will simply remind you of the authority you already carry. You will walk through fire without fear, because the flames now recognize your name. The chosen are crowned not to boast, but to bless. The glow that radiates from you now is meant to guide, not to blind. You will speak, and your words will heal. You will move, and your steps will mark paths for those who follow. This is the beauty of divine coronation, that what once crushed you now crowns you. There is a quiet majesty in this moment. No trumpets, no applause. Just the hum of eternity, recognizing obedience fulfilled. Heaven's hands rest gently upon your head. The words echo through realms seen and unseen. Well done. You have fought the good fight. You have finished the race. You have kept the faith. And now, as light wraps around you like a robe, understand this truth. Your purpose is not ending, it is expanding. You have been crowned not to retire, but to reign, not to escape the world, but to illuminate it. Wherever you go, heaven's fragrance will follow, and the mark of the chosen will be unmistakable upon you. Walk with grace. Beloved, speak with wisdom. Love with power, for you wear the signet of divine approval, the symbol of one who has overcome. The crown upon your spirit is not temporary, it is eternal. It shines not because of gold, but because of God. The story reaches its still point here, not an ending, but a sunrise. The crown gleams upon your spirit. The fire still flickers in your chest, and heaven leans near in quiet joy. You have walked through the message, section by section, and somewhere along the way, you began to feel it. This was never only about listening, it was about remembering who you are. The words have done their work. Now, they become wings. What you carry is not meant to fade when the screen goes dark. It's meant to keep burning in your everyday choices, in how you love, forgive, and keep believing when it would be easier to stop. You are the continuation of this message. If something within you awakened, let it speak. Share this light not out of habit, but out of gratitude. Each click, each share, each whispered Amen sends this message further into places where hearts are still cold. You might never meet the soul you save, but heaven will. And if you've found strength here, subscribe, not just to follow words, but to stay connected to a river that keeps flowing, like a well that refills those who draw from it. These messages exist to keep your spirit nourished. If your heart feels stirred to give, Let it be like offering oil to a flame. Every donation, large or small, is a breath that helps the fire travel further. You're not giving to a person, but through one to reach others who are standing where you once stood, waiting for a word from heaven. And before you leave, write something below, a word of gratitude, a short declaration, even a single emoji of light, because when your voice joins this chorus, the message doesn't end, it multiplies.